Hello, France. Portrait Pioneers of Color. We have a map that was made in the year 1588. It was produced by a man named Livio Seneto. He was a cosmographer in Venice, Italy, in the 1500s. He and his brother Giulio, they had planned a massive comprehensive atlas of the maps and descriptions of the whole world, which he believed would be more accurate than any previously published. Unfortunately, Livio died in 1576, having only completed 12 maps. But guess where those 12 maps were that he completed? Yes, Africa. So these 12 maps were eventually published in 1588 by Livio's brother Giulio. So that map in 1930 of Darnubia area, let's see what it says on this 1588 map, the year 1588, Africa Tablia. Let's scroll down to where that would be. So here we have, let's point out some of the areas here. This is written in Latin, as you can see, by the way. So here we see the Jalufa, the land of the Jalus or the Walus. We have Guinea as well. We have the Mandinga of West Africa. We recognize those on our modern maps. We have Nigeria. So we recognize that on our modern day maps. Nigeria. We have Benin, and this is in Latin, Benin's reign, or their kingdom of Benin. But now let's go over to this area that was called Darnuba, right in this area here. And here we have this area, notice this, France, written in Latin. Juderum Terra. So what does this mean? Let's translate that. For those who are still out there who still do not believe that there could have been African Jews, there could not have been black Jews, it was impossible, they were just told this, or they were converts, they had no connection to the 12 tribes of Israel and Palestine. Friends, let's translate this. Let's go over to Google and let's translate that name. And we know it was spelled Juderum, in that Latin, and then Terra, Terra. Look what it says. There's the Latin, there's the English. That's what this means, the land of the Jews.
What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, Go Black to Africa. Hey, I want to share a video with you all from a YouTube channel called The Portrait Pioneers of Color, Tours, and Other History. This young man here has done a great job in different videos that he is sharing the truth about we being the Jews and how the Israelites have come across through to the western of Africa that there is more information that's to be shared that you can add to your library of information. Check this video out, and I'll be back.
Hello, family. Hey, if you know anybody out there who is still not sure about black Jews in West Africa, please share this video with them. So first off, we have a map that was made by Alan H. Godbey. This map, 1930. And it's a map here that's talking about the Yemen Jews, Falashas, Berber, Moorish, and Negro Jews, all in the continent of Africa. He has them listed here. But notice this, friends. He mentions here about the Jewish kingdom of Ghana. Let me blow this up for you. The Jewish kingdom of Ghana. Now, this was taken from a map in 1930, talking about the Jewish kingdom of Ghana by white Libyans. And white, when they say white Libyans, that means that they were light-skinned compared to the darker-skinned Africans in that area. Well, we're going to get a little bit more into this Jewish kingdom of Ghana. Let me share this with you. There's some more information that's been written about this in a book here called The Affairs of West Africa by Edmond de Morel, written in 1902. 1902, The Affairs of West Africa. Let me share some information with you. So in this book, we go over to page 130. This is chapter 16, The Fulani in West African History. It says here, the earliest mention we have of an empire existing in West Africa is contained in the Tarak, a history of the Western Sudan written in the 17th century. The empire was the Empire of Ghana, so called from its capital, Ghana, which has been identified with Walata or Beirut. The spread of the empire was enormous and extended to the Atlantic, embracing the valleys of the Senegal and the Gambia. Ghana was situate in the central province of the empire by name Bagena, the modern Bekunu, according to the Commandant Beger. The Tarak states that 22 kings had reigned in Ghana prior to the Hijra. Barth approximated the foundation of Ghana to 300 AD. It was attacked and defeated in the 8th century. This is according to the historian Leo Africanus, the writer of Cosmography and Geography of Africa that he wrote in the year 1526. Defeated by a Berber tribe, the invaders subsequently succumbing at what period is obscure to the Mandingos or Mandingo Fulani, who from its ruins constructed another empire which grew to even larger proportions, that of Meli, or Mali, as it was variously spelled. That's on page 132. It goes on to say here that Mungo Park, when writing of his experiences among the Mandingos, who appear to have been converted to Islam by the Fulani, with whom they have been in close relationship, amicable and the reverse, for many centuries, observed in a similar widespread knowledge of incidents in Old Testament history, such as the death of Abel, the lives of the patriarchs, Joseph's dream, and so on. That's on page 150. Page 149 says, in the course of his relations with the Fulani, de Goradon was particularly struck with their peculiar knowledge of Jewish history. So familiar did they speak of the chief Hebrew personalities of the Old Testament, and so well posted were they with the principal events related in it, that they could not argue de Goradon have acquired their knowledge merely through Arabic sources. They referred to those times as though dealing with their own national records. Moses and Abraham might have been individuals of the same race as themselves. In the oral legends, Moses plays a very important part, and although certain passages of the scriptures are transformed or rather assimilated, they have so intense a biblical and Hebraic tone as to exclude all Arabic influence. It continues. De Gordion's conclusions are best given in his own words. It would seem as if the Puls, Fulani, if they themselves did not profess the Jewish faith, which I would rather be disposed to affirm than deny, were at least in permanent contact with the Jewish people in remote times, and that influenced at one time or another by the Israelites. They received Old Testament legends directly from them. That's on page 159 of the book, The Affairs of West Africa. But let's go back to the book, The Lost Tribes of Myth by Alan B. Godfrey. In his chapter here, Berber, Moorish, and Negro Jews, page 245, he says here, let me blow it up for you. He talks about the Yoruba Jews. These Yoruba Jews claim that their ancestors were driven from oasis to oasis by Muslim persecution and not finding rest even when they were reached Timbuktu. It suggests that these ancestors may have been of the Dagaratuns still scattered along the trade routes west of Timbuktu, or of the vanished Jewish kingdom of Kanuri, or of the later trading colony of Landland. At present, they number about 2,000 people in 20 little villages and call themselves by the Hebrew name B'nai Ephraim. They have copies of portions of the Torah kept in a most holy place. We could also look at the map of 1747, which also brings out Jewish colonies, Jewish tribes in West Africa. Let me blow this up for you. We also have the Kingdom of Judah here in the Dahomey region of West Africa, which later became Benin, right next to Nigeria there. So we have that to look to as well. But let's not stop here. We have more. If we go back to Alan Godby's map, 1930 map, we notice here, right next to Nigeria, a region here called Dar Nuba. Dar Nuba there. What is this referring to? Well, he mentions here on page 251 in his book that remnants of a far-traveled African Judaism are found in northern Nigeria among the Hassas and Nupis on the east side of the lower Niger, from 300 to 700 miles from the sea. The survivals are of peculiar interest because they did not reach that region from Berber, North Africa, nor through the contact of European Judaism with the West Coast. They are due to the great expansion of the Nuba or Nubian Empire in Byzantine times. As we saw in the case of Abyssinia, Christianity in Nubia was grafted upon a local Judaism centuries old. Centuries old. What did this area look like 500 350 years ago prior. We'll look at this map in 1588, the Africa Tablia. In this map we have the Wolof, we have the Mandingo, we have the Benin, but then look right over here, and this is written in Latin. Let's translate this. Written in Latin, there we have it.
So what do you think? Well, not much more to be said than, more information is coming out and you should do a research because it is about who you are. Many people will tell you it don't matter. They'll tell you color don't matter. They tell you we're all the children of God. But why is it now? Because we have now found the truth and the truth is being shared. It don't matter. Go to my website, goblack2africa.com. Check out the tours that are being posted, as well as doing consultations for you, those who are interested in traveling in Africa, finding out which country maybe that you might find interesting, how to prepare to travel internationally. Doesn't matter where you're going, whether we're talking about business, whether we're talking about finances, whether we're talking about any topic of discussions that I have that are a plethora of information on my YouTube channel. Please set up a consultation. It will save you hundreds and thousands of dollars traveling this world that I had to learn by my own and found out I should do this for people. Any other questions? Please send me an email to goblack2africa@gmail.com. This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa.
Think about it, 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 think about it.